Hi, boys and girls. So today at our Google Meet, we talked about picking up where we left off on the book that we were reading in class called Waiting for Magic. And I was not able to go back to school to get this book, but I was able to find it on Amazon Books, and I got it on my Kindle. So here's the picture of the beginning of the book. And I know some of us talked about picking up where we left off, but I got to reading this book and I thought to myself, you know what? There was a lot of content that we read through a long time ago, and I don't know that everybody's going to remember everything that we read through from chapters 1 to wherever we left off. So I am going to start from chapter 1 and reread this book, and I am going to put it on the Google Classroom so that you guys can listen to it. And then when we pick up on Thursday, I can read a chapter live to you guys where we left off. So we're going to start from the beginning. Chapter 1. It was early on a Saturday summer morning when my mother and father stopped arguing and Papa walked away. He is a teacher of literature at the college, so he could have said words when he left. He didn't. And this time he didn't slam the door. He shut it with a small, soft sound that made me jump. Click, said my 4-year-old sister Eleanor, looking up from her coloring book. I stared at the door. I could feel my heart thump, and I could feel tears coming. Later, when I went to my bedroom, I found 2 notes from Papa, one for me and one for Eleanor. Dear William, I've gone off to do some writing. I will call you, and I'll be back to see you soon. I'm sorry for this. I love you, Papa. I read Eleanor's note to her. It was like mine, but he had drawn a picture of Eleanor in her long dress. Eleanor took the note but didn't say anything. Suddenly, Mama was in the doorway. She beckoned me. Let's go, William, she said. Get your sweater, Eleanor. I stood up and tore my letter into small pieces. What's that? Mama asked. Nothing, I said. Go where? I followed Mama out to the car. She strapped Eleanor into her car seat. We're going to get a dog, she said firmly. I sat next to Mama in the front seat. Papa never wanted a dog, I said. That's true, said Mama. Your father is a flawed man. Everyone should have a dog. What's flawed? Asked Eleanor from the back seat. It means stupid, said Mama with feeling. Stupid is a bad word, Eleanor announced. She pronounced word as would. Yes, said Mama. He is a stupid, bad wood. Eleanor had a list of bad woods, forbidden by Mama, who thought words like fat and stupid were cruel to call anybody. Mama began to cry then, very quietly, so that Eleanor couldn't see. I couldn't say anything. Mama's crying scared me. All I could do was hate Papa for this, for causing Mama to cry right in front of us. A driver cut off Mama and she slammed on the brakes. Go to your house, lady, yelled Eleanor at the driver. Read a book or watch a movie. Mama started to laugh, and so did I. Those words coming out of Eleanor's mouth, that face surrounded by messy blonde hair, words that must have been Mama's at one time. What kind of dog are we getting? I asked. Whatever they have, said Mama. Can we get a cat? Asked Eleanor from the back. Yes, said Mama. For a moment I thought about asking for a horse, but I didn't think Mama's mood about animals would last that long. Mama turned into the long driveway at the animal shelter. As we walked to the front door, Mama took my hand. I shouldn't have said that about your father, William, she said. Will he come back? I asked. He had gone before and come back happily after a while as if nothing had happened. Probably. I'm mad at him, Will. But that doesn't make him bad. She paused. Sometimes your papa doesn't know what he wants. I didn't answer Mama. He had gone before, but he had never left notes for Eleanor and me. Somehow that seemed more final, the note. It was something to be read, saved, or torn up. Maybe Papa felt that leaving a note made going away all right. Thinking about it would wait for later. In fact, when we went inside, I forgot all about my father for just a little while because Mama surprised me more. The shelter was small, and a woman with spiky hair invited us in. Her name was Julia. I'm glad you brought your children. We don't let families adopt dogs without the children present. We walked through a door to a room where the dogs were. She turned to us. We have 4 dogs right now. There is a little description and history of each dog. When you see one you're interested in, let me know. You can spend time with him or her to see if you're fit. I assure you that they're all friendly. Call me when you're ready. The first dog's name was Bryn. Mama read about Bryn. Bryn's owner has gone to a nursing home and can't take the dog with her. Bryn was a sturdy and brown dog with a sharp nose, long velvet ears, and a line of raised hair along her back. She sat up and curled her lip at us, showing her teeth. Friendly? Shark, announced Eleanor. Mama laughed. Hello, Bryn, she said. You're a pretty girl. Bryn wagged her tail. Her face changed when she heard Mama's voice. Biddy, the next dog, was small with a terrier face and body. I read out loud to Eleanor. Biddy is high energy, too much for his family. And Biddy, as if he had heard me, jumped straight up in the air. Eleanor laughed. In the next pen there was a greyhound, tall, standing still like a statue. Her name was Grace. Grace, I told Eleanor. She is very shy but friendly. She had a life of racing, but unlike many racing greyhounds, she is gentle with small animals. She needs a home with peaceful people. We're peaceful, said Eleanor. Here's their family at the shelter with all the dogs. She put her hand against the pen. Grace looked at her steadily, then walked up close and nosed Eleanor's hand. Grace, said Eleanor softly. One more dog, big and woolly, white and gray. Neo is a very young dog, even though he is so big. He will get much bigger. He is part Great Pyrenees and... Eleanor interrupted me. He likes children and cats, she said. Neo looked at Eleanor with large, kind eyes. How do you know that? You can't read, I said to Eleanor. Eleanor just smiled. Mama had been very quiet all along. She was staring at the dogs, one after the other. Julia came into the room. What do you think? She asked. Mama took a deep breath. Do these dogs get along with each other? She asked. Yes, they play outside every day. I think Bryn is the alpha, she added. Mama nodded. That means the boss, I told Eleanor. Is there one dog that interests you? Asked Julia. Mama looked from Eleanor to me, and I shook my head. I like them all, I said. Eleanor nodded. We'll take them all, Mama said crisply. Beside Eleanor, Mama smiled, knowing, 4-year-old smile. Of course we'll take them all. Julia's mouth dropped open. But that is not done, she said. Then today is the first, said Mama cheerfully. She took out her checkbook. After a moment, the woman opened the doors to the dogs' crates, and they all milled around. Eleanor pulled on Mama's arm. Mama leaned down, and Eleanor whispered in her ear. Oh, yes, said Mama, and we want the cat, too. So, Chapter 2. 4 dogs later and a cat named Lula replaced my father. The house was filled with different dog foods for different age dogs, a big crate for Neo, in Mama's words, he can reach the kitchen counter and needs to be put away every so often, and a litter box for Lula. Lula was a relaxed cat. Eleanor carried her around and dressed her in dresses and onesies she'd worn when she was a baby. Sometimes Eleanor pushed her in a doll carriage. Lula was happy to watch the world like a newborn. Mama kept busy with the dog dishes and leashes and fleece dog beds. The house was full, but it was peaceful at the same time. My friend Max thought it was very exciting. Not that my father was gone, but that Mama had brought home 4 dogs and a cat. No one's mother has ever done that, ever, said Max, staring at Mama admiringly. She may be insane, I told Max. I don't think so, whispered Max very seriously. My grandfather Will came in, waded through the dogs, and sat down on the couch. Hi, Janie, he called out to Mom in the kitchen. Hi, Dad, I'm making coffee, she called. How are you? He called. Mama appeared in the doorway and flipped her hand back and forth, a family habit meaning don't know or so-so or whatever. Here's a picture of all the dogs and their beds and their food, and somewhere the cat is in there. How's Mom? She asked. Knitting a blanket large enough to cover Rhode Island, he said. She is yarn obsessed. Bitsy leaped up to sit next to him. Neo leaned against Grandfather and put a huge mitten paw on his lap. Filling up the house, is she? He said to me wryly. To make up for Papa going away, I said. How's that working for you? He asked, knowing exactly what Mama was doing. I was quiet. He looked at me. Call me if you want to talk, he whispered. Your father is a mystery, mostly to himself. He's not a bad man. I nodded. That's what Mama said. But you don't agree? He said. No, I said. No, I repeated louder, and Grandfather put his arm around me. It felt good. No one had put their arms around me since Papa had left. Not even Mama. Neo, the big puppy, kept watch over Lula, the cat. In Eleanor's words, keeping all bad things away from Lula. Grace, the greyhound, kept watch over Eleanor, following her from room to room. Sometimes we found Grace standing by Eleanor's bed at night, her long face on the bed covers, watching Eleanor. Biddy claimed the window seat so he could keep watch outside. He got along with everyone. And Bryn, from the first moment she saw Mama, was Mama's dog. She slept with Mama, stretched out where Papa used to sleep. She walked with Mama, watched Mama. I wish I could teach Bryn how to cook and drive, Mama said. She'd be great help. That would be magic, said Eleanor. Bryn driving. This is a bit of magic, isn't it? All these very nice dogs living with people who need them, said Mama. Magic. It was a word I hadn't thought of much. Never, actually. There's no such thing as magic, I said. Eleanor looked at me and smiled that smile. As Mama went to the kitchen, Eleanor picked up her toy wand with the gold sparkly star on the end, and she waved it. All the dogs sat up. Magic, she said. How did you do that? I said to Eleanor. Eleanor smiled. The word magic, said in Eleanor's small voice, seemed to hang in the air above us all, like a little cloud with sun coming through. Magic. No such thing. I think Grace needs fresh water, called Mama from the kitchen. Grace leaned over close to Eleanor. Grace wants fresh, tepid water, right from the faucet, said Eleanor. Whatever tepid means, she added. It's like Eleanor heard Grace talking to her, I said to Mama in the kitchen. Grace. Of course she heard me. She's 4. 4-year-olds hear everything. They know everything. Bryn. They know magic is real. Neo. Stupid grown-ups. Biddy. Stupid is a bad word. Eleanor told me. Chapter 3. We'll wait until next time, boys and girls. When we come back on Thursday, we will read the next chapter and we will pick up where we left off. I hope you guys enjoyed chapters 1 and 2, and I hope that brought us all up to speed, and I will see you on Thursday. Have a great Wednesday, boys and girls.